Oh yeah, we all know who inspired this list. In fact, it's become a verb here on Real School. To achieve success early in one's career, only to come crashing back down to earth in a fiery explosion that makes grown men and children weep. Well, you get the idea. That, real students, is of course called Shyamalaning. So in honor of that poor bastard just trying one more time and possibly succeeding in a comeback, let's look at the top 5 directors who have killed their own career. Aside from M. Night Shyamalan, on this, the Real School Countdown. Number 5. Joel Schumacher. There are going to be plenty of directors on this list who aren't exactly household names, but anybody who knows anything about Batman knows where I'm going with this one. This is a man that early in his directorial career brought us cult classics like The Lost Boys and Flatliners, and easily solidified the careers of Roberts, Sutherland, Bacon, and Baldwin. Oh, Billy Baldwin. Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind that last one. Aside from these fringe thrillers, he's also brought us some solid crime dramas, including The Client, Falling Down, and A Time to Kill, all featuring amazing, solid casts. And then came the Bat Nipples. Since Batman Forever, which was forgivable, and Batman and Robin, which was not, he's brought us a few okay films, including the critically acclaimed Tigerland, Phone Booth, and a pretty good musical adaptation in The Phantom of the Opera. But aside from that, it's a dark Jim Carrey film, an awful comedy, and a bunch of films nobody's seen. Number 4. Ron Underwood. Here comes old man Real School talking about 90s classics again. If you're a child of 80s and 90s cinema like myself, then trust me, you know the contribution that Underwood has made to the annals of cinematic history, including the Kevin Bacon monster movie Tremors and the Academy Award-winning City Slickers. Those 2 flicks have some real staying power. But I'm noticing a trend already, a cult classic starring Kevin Bacon. Maybe it's a curse. And while follow-ups to City Slickers like Heart and Soul and Speechless didn't exactly have audiences flocking to cinemas, the real blow came in 2002 with The Adventures of Pluto Nash. Since then, sure, Underwood has worked steadily, but it's really all made for TV movies and a few directorial credits when it comes to a variety of TV shows. So it would seem that perhaps his Hollywood credibility also went to Pluto. Wait, that movie was on the moon. Number 3. George Lucas. Speaking of space-themed disappointments, yes, Lucas is more than just a household name. Yes, he has brought us Indiana Jones, American Graffiti, Willow, and at least 3 good Star Wars movies. But what have you done for me lately, George? In the last decade? Nothing. He hasn't directed anything in 10 years since the conclusion of that tragic trilogy. And even his writing credits, 90% of them are just related to Star Wars animation or games. I think we have to face the cold hard truth that George Lucas may be a one-trick pony, perhaps a 3-trick pony at best. But since 1999's The Phantom Menace, I believe more and more fans are just realizing he may be out of ideas. And when he sold the rights to Star Wars not that long ago in a galaxy pretty close, I think it confirmed it. Number 2, John McTiernan. Another case of who? But another case of, trust me, you know him. How's this for a resume? Predator, Die Hard 1 and 3, The Hunt for Red October, and the cult classic Last Action Hero. I've been saying cult classic a lot. Huh, maybe that's the kiss of death. Maybe it's not Bacon's fault. This is a director who almost single-handedly ushered in the era of 80s and 90s action flicks. He solidified Schwarzenegger's career, he helped put Bruce Willis on the map, and he also showed how diverse he can be in the genres he chooses to direct. And then he slid into the abyss of cinematic purgatory. Since those early classics, he's directed The 13th Warrior and The Thomas Crown Affair, both in 1999, which may tell you how much work he put into them. But those weren't terrible films. What was terrible was the god-awful, incomprehensible remake of Rollerball. And while fellow Canadian Norman Jewison's original was a commentary on politics and reality-based entertainment, McTiernan's had LL Cool J? I don't know. And since that film, in over a decade, McTiernan has only made 1 more movie. Number 1, Martin Brest. Brest is a perfect example of how one movie can kill a career. He brought you Beverly Hills Cop, an amazing mix of action and comedy, and then he followed it up with the beautiful Scent of a Woman, where Brest not only was nominated for Best Director in the Academy Awards that year, but also garnered an Academy Award win for Pacino's performance in that film. His follow-up to those films was the severely underrated Meet Joe Black, a personal favorite of mine, but his follow-up to that was the Bennifer-era bomb Gigli. Wait, a guy named Brest directed a movie that's spelled like this? But since that film, bam, nothing, zero attempts. He hasn't even tried to make another movie. It was one of the most shocking turnarounds to self-inflicted unemployment. From A-list artist to cinematic punchline, it was nothing short of tragic. And we're not talking a Troy Duffy ego trip or a Josh Trank teenage Twitter fit. No, Martin Brest seems like a pretty nice guy who just made a really bad film. Agree or disagree with the list? Leave your picks for top 5 in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to Real School, follow me on Twitter, and of course if you get anything out of Real School, you can always give a little back. Just click the link and you can become a Real School patron. But until next time, school's out.